Alright, bamboo for sale, set 4. By the way, you've probably had an experience like this. I actually made these videos a couple days ago. Um, I uploaded them to YouTube, but I hadn't checked them. And I looked at YouTube and the sound wasn't working, so I spent like an hour trying to figure out why is my computer not working only for YouTube. Finally, I figured out that my recording software had changed the settings on me and wasn't using my microphone, so I recorded a couple of silent movies of me showing nobody bamboo. So then I cried, and it took me a couple days to recover, and now I'm finally remaking the videos. This is set number 4, the last set. This piece of bamboo is nice and straight, kind of plain, but a nice sort of darkish coloring to it. This one, you would have to do some thinking about what you made out of it. It would be, let's see, it's like it's not a 2.3 and it's not a 2.4. Well, yeah, okay, it could be a 2.3. I think that's what I would do with it. You could even make it a slightly long 2.3, but just like be okay with having that little extra length of bamboo on the bottom there. And you could see the holes are actually pretty comfortably in the right place. This one would be a wee bit close to the node, but not so close so as to make it uncomfortable, I think. So there you go. There's one piece for a 2.3. I'll show you the funky one next. This is, I don't know, you can do tamenoshi and unbend these, but I don't like doing tamenoshi on jinashi flutes because it creates kind of like a divot inside the bamboo in many cases. So I usually just make them bendy and then play them myself. Do you see what's going on here? It's like it has this really nice upward curve to it, but it also has a sideways curve to it. So you have to sort of choose what do you want to do with it. You can play it so the upward curve is going like this while you're playing it, but then it goes out to the side at the end. But like, really cool piece of bamboo though. It's lightweight. I would probably cut it off here and use it as a 2.0. You can make a 2.0 out of it with a big curve on the bottom and a curve to the side at the same time. So yeah, again, interesting though, and not too extreme. I mean, right at the end of the day, it still looks relatively straight-ish. All right, so that's piece number 2. Next piece, let's see. This, could it be a 1.8? I wrote a 1.8 with a question mark there. What did I mean? Oh, okay. Yeah, it could actually be a very comfortable 1.8, but it would have to be a 6 node. You'd have to cut off the last node at the root end here for a 1.8. You could also conceivably, could you make a 2.5? Let's see. Yes, you could use this one to make a 2.5 out of as well. Again, it's pretty straight-ish. You see that? If you can end up making it with a bend, or it's kind of like the other one. You can do it, but it'll bend off a little bit at the end. But that's what it is. So 1.8 or 2.5. Probably the 1.8 would feel a little more straight, but maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it's both about the same. Right, 1.8 or a 2.5. So you've got 2 pieces of bamboo in there that are a little bit curvy, I suppose. This one looks curvy, but I think you could actually do something pretty good with it. The thing I like about this bamboo is like, darn, it's all dark and mottled nicely. Look at that. Now, when you look at the bamboo as it is, it's got a little bit of a curve here, so I would use that as the front of the flute. As it is now, though, it makes it look like this part, the end part, kind of angles down very slightly. You see that? But what I would do with this, again, is I would just kind of shave off the bottom of that so that it feels a little bit more straight, just so it doesn't feel like this is going in a different direction than the flute. There's still enough here that you could kind of make it feel rather straight at the end of the day, and it's got a nice modeling on it. It's I wrote 1.7, but that's wrong. I don't know why. Oh, It's close to 1.7 though, isn't it? Yeah, you could make like a slightly short 1.7 or a slightly long 1.6. I would probably go for like the 1.65 to, well, it's just below being a 1.7. If you cut this a little bit longer, you could just call it a 1.7, and the nodes fall in very nice places for that. So there you go, 1.7 for that one. And this last piece would be a very straightforward 1.6. The bore, once you cut this and go into this node, it might be a little bit wideish. And node placement for that should be just right. Yeah, no problem there. Very comfortable node placement for a 1.6. So, review once again, we got the very straightforward 1.6, slightly wide bore. Let's call this one a 1.7 with the beautiful bamboo. Got this sort of curvy 1.8 or 2.5. Relatively straight, I would call this one a 2.3. That would be an 8 node 2.3, and the wacky, lightweight, kind of neat looking but very curvy 2.0. All right. So there's two curvy pieces in here, but there are also a couple of beautiful pieces, and especially that really special 1.7 that I'm kind of fond of. But so you might say, Nick, well, why are you selling it then? Well, the other reason that I'm selling it is I got this Hita and I still have to pay for it. So I found this at an auction. It's a couple hundred years old, and it's been great for studying. It's a Hita that needed repairs. I have begun repairs to the point where it plays again, right? And it's got all this kind of like gold and makie work on it, so it's been great for studying, but it was pretty expensive, so I have to find the funds to pay for it. So that's the other part of the story behind why I'm selling a little bit of my excess bamboo supplies. So there you go. Cheers.